Does your meditation practice look like this? Or this?
Did I remember to send that email? Wait, what was I supposed to be doing? Right, breath. Focus on the breath. Focus on the breath.
Then stay with me, as today I'll cover how to set reasonable goals for your meditation practice so that you can go from this to this and even find enjoyment in doing so. If you're new here, I'm Modern Monk, and in this channel I explore and promote ways to have more mindfulness in our daily lives. A skill that will help you stay in the present moment, which is the key to living a happier life, because our minds are often trapped either in the past or the future, which makes no sense, because the present moment is all we really have. Since the word meditation can be put on a lot of things these days, I want to get one thing out of the way. The technique I'm talking about is the simple sit down, place your attention on your breath, and keep it there until it wanders. When it wanders, and it will, simply bring it back and repeat this process as many times as you like. You don't have to meditate on your breath. In fact, you can meditate on a lot of things, but breath is the most potent and highly advisable for any beginner. In order to advance your meditation practice, you will need to learn how to set reasonable goals. Goal setting in meditation should follow the same principles as in learning any other skill. Your goals must be challenging enough to stimulate progress, but at the same time reasonable enough to avoid disappointment. Like when training for a marathon, you set a goal to run it in X amount of time, and your workouts need to be within reason to reach that goal. If you haven't run before, you can't expect to follow a routine of, say, an elite runner. However, in meditation, it can be a bit harder to set goals, because if you haven't studied the literature, it's a bit hard to conceptualize what is your end goal. In the marathon example, your goal is to run it in X amount of time. But what is the end goal in meditation? Well, according to literature, your end goal is this state called awakening, where through deep intuitive realizations, your whole worldview changes and you become a different person altogether. However, that's the very pinnacle. There are many other goals along the way to keep you engaged. People often mistake meditation as being a very subjective skill. This makes a lot of sense, as it is literally impossible to measure how good a meditator you are. However, while your experience is very subjective and unique to you, there are very concrete and not subjective skills to learn to progress in meditation. And learning them, like any other skill, takes time and practice. Like, say you wanted to learn how to do a handstand, you would need to develop certain muscles like your shoulders and learn to balance upside down. Similarly, in meditation, there are certain mind skills you need to learn. There are two skills I have in mind. It's attention and awareness. These can be split even further, but I don't want to bore you to death with all the theory, so let's just stick to those for now. One will not do much without the other. If you simply try to practice mindfulness without a certain degree of stability in your attention, most of your practices will consist of physical discomfort, mind wandering, sleepiness, and a loading error on your patience meter. The exact things most people deal with when they try to meditate. So then how do we develop these skills progressively? Firstly, you will need to set up a consistent practice. This should be your number one goal. Like learning any skill in life, consistency has to be the base foundation. And meditation is no different. Try to set up a clear schedule for when you're going to meditate and stick to it, unless there are circumstances that are absolutely beyond your control. You can consider you mastered this goal when you're not missing a daily session. And it doesn't have to be long. As long as you can find at least 10 minutes a day, that is awesome. Once you have that out of the way, you can set goals for the actual practice. This is where it gets more interesting. The very first thing you will try to do is to develop stable attention. This is easier said than done. If you have tried meditating before, you have noticed how easily your mind gets captured by distractions, which make you forget to focus on your breath. And forgetting quickly leads to mind wandering, which can last for several minutes or even an entire session. It is worth remembering this sequence, as it will help you label your experience later, another powerful tool to help you progress. So distractions lead to forgetting, and forgetting leads to mind wandering. This brings me to your next goal. You should try and reduce periods of mind wandering and extend periods of attention on your breath. It is important to cultivate awareness and not judge yourself. In other words, when you capture yourself mind wandering, treat it as a good thing, as an aha moment. This aha moment represents the moment you realize a disconnect between what you were intending to do, which was focus on your breath, and what you're actually doing, thinking about something else.
Did I remember to send that email? Wait, what was I supposed to be doing? Right, breath. Focus on the breath.
As in, aha, I caught myself mind wandering. Good job, back to the breath. You should try and savor the smallest of achievements. Remember, the only bad meditation practice is the one you didn't do. Also remember that mind wandering is so natural we often don't even notice it, leading us to believe that we are somehow masters of our mind, always in control. Meditation will shatter this myth very quickly. Consider you mastered this goal when you can sustain your attention on your breath for minutes and periods of mind wandering only last seconds. As your mind wandering periods get shorter, you should try to focus on overcoming sleepiness and forgetting. To overcome forgetting, I recommend a technique known as following your breath. This is a series of tasks, a sort of a game, to keep you more engaged and fully investigating your breath, countering the natural tendency for your attention to shift. Here's a quick checklist of some mini games you can try. Identify the exact moment when the in-breath begins and when it ends. Likewise, do the same for the out-breath. Notice the brief pauses between the in-breath and the out-breath, and between the out-breath and the in-breath. These tasks will engage your mind by giving it a challenge. At first, the sensations will seem to come and go so quickly and they will be so subtle and you will not be able to distinguish anything. Yet with practice, these tasks will stabilize your attention. And since they are so minuscule, you can always have a sense of progress, which is very important to keep you engaged and keep you happy. Remember, willpower will not get you very far in meditation. You need to keep finding ways to challenge your mind. So you have a weapon to combat forgetting. To overcome sleepiness, try one of these techniques. Take a few deep breaths and then let the air out through pursed lips with control and with force. It would look something like this. You can also try to tense all your muscles as intensely as you can, and then relax. And repeat that several times. Worst case scenario, get up, splash some water on your face, and get back to meditating. These will work because they will stimulate you not just physically but also mentally, increasing the amount of external stimuli coming to your mind. So in general, counter sleepiness with whatever is necessary to re-energize yourself. Constantly doing check-ins during your practice and labeling what you're feeling are also very helpful. Like, try to label what is going on. X distraction led to forgetting. Experienced short mind wandering. Or whatever else you feel worth noting. You can even take actual notes after, but never stop in the middle to do so. You can consider you mastered this goal when you rarely forget the breath and not fall asleep. As you overcome mind wandering, forgetting, and sleepiness, you can consider you have acquired a very important skill: stable attention. Your mind is now different, it has gotten stronger, like a muscle. With this, your progress will be much faster and more interesting. Your next goals will be to overcome distractions and dullness, which will require to strengthen your awareness. But this is a whole topic for another video. If you would be interested in one, let me know in the comment section. Keep in mind that you will not see linear progress day to day. As with all skills, your progress will be shaky. Your short-term learning curve will look something like this. But in the grand scheme of things, in the long run, there will be growth for sure. I remember the first period of my meditation journey was definitely the hardest. However, at that point, I had developed a deeper sense of what a great gift it is of being alive, and I kept looking for ways to slow time down. While it was very hard battling mind wandering and sleepiness, it was not all that bad when after a 20-30 minute session I could have named so many things that have happened to me. Those things were of course minuscule, but it was an experience. And if you learn to enjoy these small experiences, your life will become slower and more interesting altogether. Meditation is probably the best way I've found to slow time down. Well, not literally, but the way your mind perceives the world is your reality. If time feels slow, then it's slow. If time feels fast, then it's fast. On top of that, you are learning a skill that has no entry fee, no cost, it can be done anytime, anywhere, and you will be able to enjoy it for the rest of your life regardless of any external circumstances. No one can ever take your inner world away from you. And don't think that to become an adept meditator, you need to spend a lifetime meditating. It is possible to achieve incredible results within months. You will just need to stay consistent, and you will be able to stay consistent by finding enjoyment in the learning process. Hopefully this helps you get started on your meditation journey. If you're still debating whether to embark on this journey, check this video out where I talk about how meditation can rewire your brain. Or this video where I talk about this other mindfulness practice that will help you experience more of your life. Thank you all so very much for watching, stay mindful, and I hope to see you in the next one.